Hi, I'm Kaya.
I'm Wayne.
Today we'll be going over how to save money when getting into snowboarding and safety while snowboarding. So let's get into it. Snowboarding is an expensive sport, and I'm not going to try to fool you. You'll need to be willing to spend some money on your gear and your pass for the mountain, so be prepared for that. There are ways for you to save some cash, like renting gear or buying used, rather than buying all brand new gear and forking out thousands of dollars only for your first time. You don't need to go all in for your first couple of times on the mountain. You need to get a feel for whether it's something you're going to enjoy for a long time before making large purchases.
So, circling back, when you go for the first time, you don't necessarily have to go, A, take the day off of work, go on a midweek day if you can. B, when we went for the first time, I didn't have, I think I had enough money in my bank account for the gas, the rentals, and the night pass tickets. And that was it.
Yeah,
Like,
night pass like half day,
Yeah, so the
like
night
way
pass was
less.
like $40 at that time instead of like $80 or 65 or 70, whatever it was for like the full day pass. And I was like, I don't know if we're going to be there for one run or if we're going to be there all night. Um, and then to not complicate things, also, I just went with you, and then, and I had only been the one time before that, so I had to relearn a bunch of stuff. And then it was like, start off easy and just you know, run the bunny slope until you're comfy and keep running the bunny slope until you're comfy. But, you want to make sure that you like the sport before you go and invest in it. So it's like get some cheap rentals, find the cheap one, use Google, it's your friend, and then um, if you can do a night boarding pass. Just know that it's probably going to be icy. But the cool thing is if you like it when you're night boarding, when it's like the worst possible conditions,
Yeah, it's
probably,
scary.
it's a, you got the worst visibility because it's all lights. You got the snow wanting to ice up on you, and all that. Then you know that you're gonna like the sport.
Yeah, and the first time it's hard because you
You're gonna
fall a lot. Your
You're gonna
butt's gonna
fall,
hurt, your knees are gonna hurt.
which is where you're gonna need the safety stuff.
Oh yeah. And for my first board, I think we got the boots and the board from that lady for like this $40.
Really didn't break the bank. We were able to get a board with bindings on it and boots. So boots, bindings, and a board is really what you need, and a helmet
Yeah,
because
which we
it's
got the new
snow.
helmets.
Yeah, because it's snow, and actually we rented helmets for a little bit there.
Yeah,
We still
what we
spent like
needed.
the $5 renting helmets just because we didn't want to go spending even more money. So like we definitely bootstrapped it the whole way. So Facebook Marketplace is where we got your board and Ellie's board. Um, but with that deal, I think it was like 100. It was either 125 for both or 125 each. I think it was 125
I
for
think it was
both
both.
though.
That lady sold us both.
Yeah. So 125 for two boards with bindings and two sets of boots. And then,
We got our new stuff like as we went because we just got my new board, which was in January,
yep,
and that was probably a pretty penny.
it was a pretty penny.
And then the new boots we got. What did we got? I got the
But I bought
boots the
your,
same year.
but when we bought your board, instead of buying like, was it 550, $600, something like that, bought one brand new, one season old, from Blower actually, which is local in Big Bear.
Oh yeah,
Um, and so I think I got it for like 40% off or something like that.
yeah. Off
So,
season deals, best deals. But don't let them scam you at the store.
right.
Where the guy tried to tell us that there was a certain deal on the bibs, and then he like totally didn't take the percent off the more expensive one. Was that what he did?
Yeah, yeah. So it was like your first purchase, you were supposed to get like 10% off, and it took the 10% off of the bib that was already 70% off instead of the
Bruh.
one that was like
Yeah, he
thirty
pulled a
percent off.
sneaky on us.
But whatever.
Yeah, so
Right.
now let's get into being cautious. So, this is directed at new and experienced snowboarders because collisions and falls are something that both parties need to be aware of. When I was a new snowboarder, I wasn't confident in my ability to maneuver around people, especially when people were sitting right in the middle of the trail. The most annoying thing. It's a common issue and it really needs to be addressed because those of you who do this, you know who you are. Just get up and move over to the edge or something. You're pretty much in the line of fire. If you don't want to get a concussion, you should probably move.
I
Um,
mean, yeah, you're playing with your life. Like, and I think snowboarders are worse about it than skiers.
yeah, because skiers just shoop, 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 like all left and right.
well, there's a whole snowboarder skier thing, and it's always
The little
for the
feud.
snowboarders, it's always the skier's fault. But
Yeah.
at the same time, like usually they end up on the side. I want to say sometimes they're in the middle, but usually they're in the middle. They've either yard sailed or were wiped out and sent all their gear everywhere, or they're standing up on their poles and they're usually kind of looking around a little bit.
Yeah, it's always when we go down Chisholm and then that one run has all the jumps. I forget what it's called. What is it?
The cruiser,
Yeah, Cruiser. It's always like on the busy days, just a big line of people, like 3 people deep. And it's like, I can't even get around you guys. Like, I have to completely stop and then gain all my momentum just to get around all you guys. So that's just a really dangerous part of it.
yeah, and all that to hit a 4 pack of jumps. Like,
I know.
guys, maybe like jog once in a while so you have a little bit of stamina.
Yeah, it's like, oh,
Like,
I'm already tired right here.
dude, I can make the run the whole way on our little hill,
Yeah,
and
without.
I'm a dad who works a full-time job and doesn't hit the gym. Like,
Yeah.
what?
So we also want to talk about how many experienced snowboarders love to speed down the slope and absolutely use no brakes and forget about everything around them. And I have done this, I can admit that. And I know what it's like, and it can really be dangerous because you never know what you might run into or who might be in front of you, whether that be people who are new snowboarders on the big hills or whatever it is. It's just really dangerous. And a lot of times you can't slow down fast enough when something bad is going to happen. So when it comes to that, it really is dangerous, and that's something you need to watch out for.
if you're if you're gonna try to bomb the hill, you have to think really far ahead, and it's not just your reaction time. It's also what's the snow gonna do under you? Is your board gonna catch the way that you want it to?
Yeah, you never
Are
know those
you
little
gonna
bumps.
yeah? Are you gonna make a mistake as you're trying to slow down and avoid people?
Yeah, that
So,
hurts so bad when you fall when you're going fast. It's like,
and
oh,
it's also a good way for you to go straight to Snap City.
you just
So,
gotta end your day.
yeah, and a lot of times it's not worth it, but sometimes you just got to do it carefully. You just don't bomb every run, like, because there's a weird flow on the hills, um, where it's like traffic, on the freeway, and sometimes everybody's moving, sometimes there's traffic where it's clumping up, sometimes there's times where there's like a wave of traffic, and once you get clear of all those people, then it's wide open, and it's like that's the time to bomb.
Yeah,
Just kind of take what the hill gives you. What you really have to do with snowboarding, you can't. That's kind of what's cool about it, and how it's analogous to surfing, is like you kind of have to take what the hill gives you, like you have to take what the ocean gives you for waves and stuff. Because the even though it's not moving like a wave, it's still changing every run. It's changing throughout the season, and so sometimes, and it's changing with the temperature. So sometimes the snow is, it's kind of grippy and sticky in the morning, and then it's like perfect mid morning, and then it's, getting a little beat up midday, and then it's slushy in the afternoon, and then it gets icy in the evening, and you have like all these different,
things you can't really trust.
right, and variables,
Yeah,
and it's run by run, it's changing, and you gotta adapt to that and
yeah.
acclimate to it.
I remember when I was on my old board before I got the new one, and I was going down, and I mean, maybe you were with Ellie on the smaller one, or maybe you guys were behind me because you were stopping and waiting for her. But this guy, he was coming down, and he seemed like he was a new snowboarder. He wasn't even wearing a helmet, and I was just going down at my own pace, and I wasn't bombing it like because I was kind of scared to go too fast. It was the beginning of the season, like I felt like not too confident, and he completely just slammed into the back of me because he just bombed down the hill, and he stops down like 10 feet. He's like, "Oh my gosh, are you okay?" I was like, "You need to watch where you're going. Like, what are you doing?" I was really upset, but I mean that's just part of the game, I guess.
No, you haven't not hit people. Also,
I have hit
you
people.
have hit people too.
Yeah,
I've
yeah,
gotten real close. I've never hit anybody. I've been within like 2 inches,
yeah.
and
Well, it's
I've hugged people before to
yeah, like
prevent
to
us
move
from
them out of
like
the way.
actually hitting.
Yeah, it's hard because when you're like I'm ready to have fun, like I'm ready to go, like we never expect to have a collision with someone, but it happens, and most of the time nobody gets really hurt. I think people really only get hurt by themselves, like doing something dumb, and that's when you see ski patrol like come in.
And that changes when you get into terrain parks where there's the jumps and stuff like that. Um, and there's a lot of no nos for that. But like, don't don't loiter in the landing. If you
Yeah.
fall and you didn't break anything, get out of the way because somebody
Mhm.
might be coming and they can't see you. A bunch of stuff like that. But by and large, the person who's in front has the right of way, and it's the responsibility of everybody behind them to avoid them. And that minimizes collisions. But at the same time, when you're going down, like if there's a bunch of people on the hill, I can't go from edge to edge and carve the whole hill, just sawing off everybody's line going down, right?
Yeah. People get
Um,
really offended about that.
they get a little mad about it,
Like,
but
hey, stay
also,
on
but
your line.
but you can't, right? Because you're, and it's hard to do safely too.
Yeah, like you said, like falling at the base of a jump. Like I have been known to fall. I've been known to crash a jump. Like I land
You
some, but I crash
you
some.
crash? Nah.
No, I mean, I'm good sometimes. I'm not good other times. But when I do, and I'm not that hurt, and I can move, like I move immediately because I know there's someone behind me trying to hit the jump. I'm not gonna get like snowboard to the face. But these people, when you're going over that jump and then you see that person at the bottom, you're like, oh shoot, I don't want to hit this person. So then you're putting yourself in more of a dangerous position because you might have to land on your back so that you can not hit
Try
them.
to stop.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I know you've bailed jumps before, and then like been on. I think we've been on both sides of it, where it's like you see somebody airborne coming at you, and you're like, oh, great. Um, I guess I'll scamper as much as I can,
Yeah, with your
but
feet
like
strapped to the board.
with your feet strapped to the board, you can only like worm your way out of the way so much. So that's why it's critical to like do it as fast as possible. But then when you're on the other end of it, you're in the air and you're like,
Oh
I'm going
no.
where I'm going. Like I'll
Yeah.
flap my arms as much as I can, but that's it.
You're like, move,
Yeah.
move.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and yeah, nobody wants to catch Jerry Tap.
No.
Where you for those who aren't familiar, Jerry's are people who do silly things on the mountain. And a Jerry Tap is when you're on the jump airborne and you have to use their helmet with the bottom of your board.
They gotta land it. Their head gets slammed into the snow.
Yeah, it will, because your board's coming. You really can't change your trajectory.
Yeah, otherwise you'll just
So
have to like flatten yourself and fall.
yeah, so you do what you can to like minimize the impact, but you're basically going to tag them in the head, which is why it's also that, notwithstanding everything else. Like snow is not that soft. Everything is packed, and sometimes it's icy. Helmet's smart. It's a
Mm-hmm.
smart choice. I
Those
remember.
people who don't wear helmets are crazy.
Well, it used to be that you were. So I know what we called it back in the day. Um, but you were a loser and you were pretty soft if you wore a helmet when you were snowboarding, and like people like judged you and mocked you for it. But now
Like
it's
90% of people have helmets on.
yeah, now it's flipped the other way. People are
Yeah,
like,
people are like, I don't want brain damage.
right, you're not protecting your head. Like that's a little silly, but all right, whatever, you do you. So it's gotten a little live and let live, which is cool, but it's also good to see that like a lot of people are wearing helmets. Because that first time that we went, we were walking because we cheaped the whole way, so we did the free parking too,
Mm-hmm.
which it was like $10 for parking, but we were like, we're saving money.
Yeah, but walking up
And
that is
yeah.
so
So
icy.
that's that icy path, right? And we're walking down it. They had thrown down like the little cinders for the extra traction,
It's a price you
and
pay
we
for free parking.
oh, did I pay the price? Yeah, because we were walking down, and I remember we joked like, "Oh, it's a little slippery."
Yeah.
And I remember I had unclipped the helmet, but just like left it on my head. And I thought about carrying it, and I was like, "Nah, I should just put it on the head just in case I slip and fall." What I do? Slipped and fell.
You second guess yourself. You manifested it.
I did. And I that was the worst fall of the night, and my feet went right out from underneath me.
I looked
Had
back and I was like, "Are you okay?"
Yeah, no chance to
And
brace.
you just like had lost all your breath. I was like, "Oh,
Because it was feet out from underneath me. I didn't even land on my butt. I landed on my back and then
yeah, knocked the wind
whiplashed.
out of you."
Yeah, and whiplashed my head into the ground.
Good thing you had your helmet
But
on.
I had the helmet on still, even though it wasn't buckled. Like it still took all of that. So
Yeah,
because uh,
yeah, it's hard to fall and not hit your head
yeah, and that could have been like a solid concussion without the helmet.
for sure.
So
Got some brain swelling going on there. Another thing I want
definitely
to,
worth the $5 for the rental.
yeah, another thing I want to talk about is not trying tricks when you're not confident. So this is the thing we are just talking about the other weekend when we were riding our dirt bikes. Like, oh, I was telling, like, when I was at the top of the hill, I second guessed myself, like, oh, I can't make this, and then I stalled, almost fell. So that's the thing, is like when you're not confident in yourself, when you're snowboarding and you're gonna try a trick, it's definitely not something you should do. You should just avoid trying it, because what happened to me was I thought, oh yeah, I could try this long box. It's like only a couple of inches off the ground. I'll land it. But I went on it and I was on it for a couple of feet, and then I bailed and I hit my knee on the metal. It bruised severely, and like now I think I have a little bit of nerve damage there, but it's definitely something that can be very dangerous when you're trying new things and you're not confident in your ability.
So what did we say before that run?
Oh yeah,
What
we
was
were
the
like,
speech?
it was like no jumps or something.
So the speech
Take it
was,
easy.
we're gonna this is the first run trip of the season. We got a long season. We're gonna take it easy.
Take it
We're gonna
easy.
take it easy, right? You know. And she looked at me with this mischievous glint in her eye and a little smirk, and was like, and didn't say anything. And I was like, "We're gonna take it easy, right?"
And I was like, we're gonna party or something
Yeah.
like that.
Yep.
We're
And
gonna
then
hit
and
every
then I was like,
jump.
no, we're gonna take it easy, right? And she was like, okay, we're gonna take it easy. What did she do? First run, hit a jump. And I was like, oh, here we go.
Yeah.
So yeah, and
So then I
I
hurt
think it was like
myself.
second run was when you fell on that
Yeah,
box. Yeah.
I hurt myself, and then I think we snowboarded like 3 days after, and it was the worst pain. But I think it was when
I
we
mean,
went in the morning and we were trying to get first chair, and then that old man took it first. But
he gave
Pike,
you
it was Pike.
Pike gave you every opportunity, honestly.
So I want to talk about another way how to save money. So after you paid for your gear and your pass, you're gonna be on a tight budget. So here are a few ways to save some additional money. So when it comes to food, the cost of food at the ski resort, which the one we go to is Mountain High, and it could be super expensive. We love,
It's cheap by comparison to other places,
well,
though, other resorts for
that's true.
sure.
The Big Bear ones, I'm sure they're like 10 times more expensive.
Or
But
all the Vail resorts in like Colorado and
oh
Utah.
yeah, but
Like you're gonna spend $35 for a cheeseburger and you're gonna like it. When I go solo and I don't have you girls with me, I have like 8 Nature Valley bars stuffed in the jacket.
I see those people who bring like their whole entire like hot pot set up. I'm like, these people are crazy.
Yeah, because you could do that. Like, I mean, how good would soup on a cold wintry day be, right? So you can take, if you have like a little camping stove, take the camping stove, throw that bad boy. Ideally, if you have like a truck, right? So that way you're not really running like a stove out of your um, what's it called, out of your trunk. But if you had like a little table too, like
Yeah, people
folding
do like
table,
set up like a
you could
little,
just set up
just,
in the parking lot, a little
yeah,
parking lot
they
jam.
open their hatchback, sit on it, and eat food. I'm like, okay, that's a good deal. But yeah, actually, I learned from Penelope that Mountain High like has a strict rule against it, but I guess because they're so lax on the rules, they don't even enforce it. Thank you for listening to this podcast, and I hope you learned a few ways to save some cash and stay safe on the slopes. Do you have anything to say to wrap up?
You're gonna fall. Be prepared for it, but it's
Yeah,
fun.
might get some
It,
bruises.
it's addicting.
Yes, for sure.
It's it's a cool sport because um, you'll hit powder's my favorite thing, and when you hit those sections of untouched snow, and your board goes from making noise to silent, and you basically don't, especially when you get into like trees and stuff, you don't like hear anybody. It's weird, and you just
It's just like
and it's just
solitude.
you
You don't
just
have to
yeah
think.
you and nature and the mountain, and you're doing something that's so unnatural. You're strapped to a plank sliding across the snow.
Yeah.
Like it feels otherworldly,
Mm-hmm.
and
And
everybody should be able to try it.
once you stop thinking about it, it's like really therapeutic too.
It is, and it's great exercise.
Mm-hmm. It's like win-win-win.
Yep.
Anyway, bye.